everybody, and how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having a wonderful and fabulistic type of day today. This is Gabe, and this is Gabe Loves Makeup, and I'm a 52 makeup artist where I've been in the industry for over 30 years, and I am still in the cosmetic industry where I help customers just like you every single day with fragrance, skincare, and makeup. So with that said, guys, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back. Pull up a chair, grab yourself a little drink, a little cuppa, a little something, because today, guys, we're going to be going over the Natasha Denona. This is the Hyper Natural Face Palette. She has so many. Obviously, I have quite a few of them, so she's got a lot of them. But anyway, so this one is the Hyper Natural Face Palette. It's supposed to be a makeup and a cheek essential palette. So what I thought today we would do with it is we're going to use it as a lip liner. We're going to try to use it as eyeliner. We're going to use the blush as eyeshadow. We're going to be doing all kinds of things with this palette. So if you are interested I'm sure you probably heard quite a few of different reviews too. I think I've only watched like maybe two videos with it so far. I have heard mixed feedback on social media and stuff like that on what they think of this palette. But if you guys want my opinion on it and you want to think what I think about it and what my thoughts are, then stick around and let's dive into it together. Okay, guys, we are ready to dive into this face palette. So I've done a little bit of foundation. I've done my brows, obviously. I was going to try to use this powder as brows, but I might have to try that at another time because I didn't want to spoil the palette for you guys until we kind of did it together. So I wanted to do swatches and everything with you guys together. If you guys did not know, I am a Natasha Denona affiliate. I do have an affiliate link down below, and it does have, I do have a coupon with them. I think it's Gabe Luvs. It saves you 15% off if you are wanting to buy from her site, because her site is amazing. Shipping usually takes only 2 to 3 days. They have a point system, so the more you buy, you can actually build into dollars, and you can use it towards another purchase. So it's really awesome to kind of go over to her site. But I know a lot of you guys love to shop on Sephora and Ulta. I will have those links down below as well if you prefer to shop on there, and also Beautylish. So I'll give you options to choose if you want to use any of my links. If you do use any of my links, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it for all your support on my channel. It really does mean a lot. Because I'm telling you guys, a little $3, $2, $4 here and there, it really, really helps my channel a lot. It helps me a lot. So I really do appreciate that. They did not pay for me to do this. This was not a pay promotion. I'm not sponsored by the company whatsoever. And they did not send this to me in PR. I actually bought this with my money, but I did save 20 bucks on it though. I'm happy about that. I did save 20 bucks on it because I did use one of my coupons that I had. So because I bought from the site a couple times and I had 20 bucks. So I just used that. So the palette for me was 42 instead of the 62. I think it's 62 for this palette. But this is what the outside box is. I'm just getting ahead of myself right here, but this is what the outside box looks like. It's supposed to be a different type of a formula. There's she's went a little bit more natural. It's supposed to be the Hyper Silk eyeshadows, or a dense eyeshadow that you can use with your finger with a blush. There's the contour and bronzer, the blush. It doesn't really go into full detail on all the products, but she is cruelty-free, vegan-free, all that good stuff. But they've started making the actual shadows more natural, using more natural extracts, like some of the other companies are doing. But this is what the outside of the palette looks like. She's really, really beautiful, really shiny. She's really pretty. She's got a night weight to her. She's about the size of the Kim Kardashian palette. So she's about in my hand. It fits in your hand really well. And but this is what the inside of the palette looks like. So, so we have blush over here. There's a lighter shade, a fruit punchier shade. There's 3 different types of bronzer and contour. And then there's 5 of the new shadow colors. And I just want to know, so the way that she pressed these shadows are very unique. It almost has like a suede looking finish or a tweed looking finish on it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I'm going to try to push it up there as far as I can if the camera will focus on it. But you can see it's got a unique looking imprint on it. So it looks a little different from some of her other ones. I'm not real sure. We'll have to see after we kind of swatch it or whatever, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take, let's start off with the bronzers. So the bronze contour. So let's start off with the, ooh, that's pretty. So, oh, it's like it feels really good. It's got almost like that cream, the powder kind of a feel to it. Wow, they're a little, definitely a little bit more on the light side. So this is it on me. So that's the lighter shade, the medium shade, and then the darker shade. You can blend them together, or you can use them as soft focuses on the eye or whatever. We'll probably play with a little bit of each to see what works and what doesn't. And then underneath it, let's go ahead and just do the go ahead and do the blush side. So this one is the soft pink. She's soft. She's got more of a highlighty type look to it. I've heard a lot of controversy about this palette. I have a feeling she's kind of venturing into the Danessa Myricks territory, where she's kind of creating some of these palettes that do like a little bit of everything. So it's kind of be like you use eyeshadow and eyeliner and all kinds of different things. You know, when she showed the video or her instructional video or whatever, she kind of did it more just shadow and just blush or whatever. But I actually had a little brief talk with her on Instagram, and I told her I was going to do quite a bit with it, and she said that I could. That's not actually the way their instruction you use the palette, but do I really go by the rules? I mean, not hardly. But anyway, so I so this is what the blush looks like. It's really pretty. Matches my shirt. The brighter blush matches my shirt. I will say this much: if you're a dark complexion skin tone, even if you're a caramel skin tone, just even more of a darker skin tone than me, because I'm about a medium. By the way, I do have on the new Makeup Forever. You guys are bad influencers. Bad. You guys think I'm the influencer? You influence me. You were like, oh, you need to get that foundation. So anyway, I digress. I have the bottle. So anyway, so I'm this is the 3Y38, and I could probably even go up another shade in this eventually, especially as the summer goes along, and then I'm a number 4 in the Dior. So I'm a good medium deep, and in the summer I can get around a 420, 430. So I'm just saying, if you're darker skin tone, I would probably skip this, because I can already tell you just by looking at this, I don't think that's going to show up on you. I really don't. But that's just my 2 cents so far. I mean, I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit, but I can already tell I don't know how this is going to work on a darker skin tone. But we're going to play with it a little bit more and see if it does build up. So let's start with Everyday, the shadow Everyday. So let's start with her first. So we're going to put her on first. So that's Everyday. And she's really pretty. That's still the bronzer, by the way. I didn't get it all. I thought I got it off, and I didn't get it all. I'm a bad swatcher. Bad swatcher today. So anyway, which I'm a bad swatcher anyway, but that's Everyday. So she's pretty. She's a very pretty, neutral, natural kind of a shadow. So let's try Dreamy up above her. Ooh, Dreamy feels good. I think this must be the unique one, the one that feels really silky. So that's Dreamy. Look how pretty she is. That would be a beautiful highlight too. That would be really pretty. So we'll probably end up using that as highlight. So Statement is like, she's got more of a brownish plum look to her. Or actually, no, she's more brown. She's more of a darker brown, kind of like a darker brown color. And then the next one is Soft, and she's the one that looks a little bit more on the pinky side. So she's got more of that pink coralish look to it. So it's really pretty. And then Casual is, she's got more of a gray, cooler undertone to her. So that is Casual right there. The Casual is right there. So, I mean, that's all of them together. I mean, they're really pretty. I mean, they're very neutral. They're very neutral except for the pink. But the pink's got a little more of a coral undertone to it. So it's almost kind of like a pinky coral undertone, which, hello, I mean, imagine. I mean, can you figure? But anyway, so let's enough about the chit chat and whatever. I mean, they obviously, it's Natasha, I feel like her shadow colors kind of speak for themselves. But let's get into actually putting some of this on my skin and seeing what happened, because I'm feeling a little naked. So I think I'm going to do lips first. So I want to use the contour color, and we're going to use it as lip liner, and we're going to see how it works. By the way, guys, this is after work, so it's a little bit late. So please forgive me. My lighting is a little weird because today is like I got home a little bit before the natural light kind of went, so I've got some natural light coming in. But it's a weird day where the sun doesn't know where it wants to come in, stay out. It wants to rain. I mean, you know, it's one of them kind of days, so it's a little weird. So my lighting may be a little strange. So hopefully it's not too bad. Hope you like the spring backdrop though. I'm in the spring mood. I'm already there. You know, the trees are already blooming, so I'm all excited. So I'm excited for bright palettes and bright colors and pastels. You can see I'm all into that. I'm just all ready for it. But anyway, so let's go into, we're going to do the contour. So let me get Miss Piggy, because I'm going to wait and take the sleeve off the back of that mirror later. But let's go into the darker shade. I'm actually going to mix a little bit of the dark and the medium together. Now there is a little pickup. So if you do it, I'm actually going to use my BK Beauty brushes today. I've got like all my BK Beauty ones. We're going to use a lot of those for my shadow brushes today. But let's start down here at the bottom. I put a little concealer on. And I'm just going to go around a little bit around the bottom of my lip. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. See, it's giving like a little contour. I want it when I get these kind of palettes, that anything that says I want to, like, if it says it's gonna do everything, I want it to do everything. So I wanted to see if you can actually use it for more than just shadow and blush, because you know, I love doing my lips with a contour powder or line them, because I think it's very Scott Barnes. And I really like that. By the way, if you guys know, I don't know if you guys have been over, you should check out, Scott Barnes has taken down his site. If anybody knows what's going on with him, please let me know down below, because I'm kind of like, what in the heck is going on with Scott Barnes? It's like, University was doing GabeLuvsMakeup, then after the inauguration, in 2020 or 2021, he disappeared. And then he wasn't doing her makeup anymore. And then Mary Phillips has been doing it for a long time, and she still is. But now all of a sudden he started posting that he's doing some makeup for her again, and his site is down though, so he has no product out. I don't know what's going on with Scott Barnes. You guys will have to let me know down below. If you guys know anything, please let me know. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I like that. I mean, so far so good. It's getting like that really pretty matte. It's a very naked type of lip liner. So it's not super over the top. I mean, it's not bad as like a contour color. I don't know if I can fully depend on it as my lip liner, but as a contour color, I'm not mad at it. What do you guys think? I mean, it's not bad. I mean, like if you want to just kind of contour your lips a little bit to give them a little bit more lift before you do a lip liner, it may be okay. But the color, and I'm using the darkest one the most, and it's not showing up a ton on me. So that's got to tell you something right there. So lips are on, so I've got my lips on. So I did a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and I did a little bit of my Estee Lauder lipstick in Pink Parfait. I love this color. It's so pretty. She's like a very frosty kind of a pink. If you like a frosty pink, this is a really pretty color. And I did a little bit of the Natasha Denona. This is the I Need a Rose, or I Need a Nude. I think it's I Need a Rose. I think it was one of it's Fione is the name of this one. So I did a little bit of that over top of it. So there you go. So this is what our lips are looking like. It was easier to line kind of doing it around with that. So it wasn't bad, but I still had to use the lip liner. So I don't really know about actually using it as lip liner. I guess you're just going to use it as contour. It's okay. But yeah, so now we're ready to dive into the eye part. Let me blow out some of this. I'm going to go in with a smaller brush first. I'm going to take my Angie Hot and Flashy brush, 8502. We're going to do a little bit. And let's start in with the middle bronze and contour shade, just to kind of give a little bit of depth to the lid here. And I did do a little bit of eyeshadow base, and I do have on just a little bit of mascara. I have on a little bit just to kind of give a little to my eye. So you guys know, if you're new to my channel, I always do a little bit of mascara on my eyes just to lift them a little bit before we actually go in and start doing shadow, because it just helped to open up my eye a little bit, because I have very small eyes. So it just helped to really open them up a little bit. But this is what it's looking like. So it's a very soft brown. I'm using the middle shade in the bronze contour. That's like a really soft kind of a brown. It's a pretty good, you know, transition shade. So it's a pretty good one. I don't know how that light one would go though. I'm sure the light one would show up a little bit, but it would be very, it would probably be very, very light on me. So if you're very fair, that one would be probably a really good one. And she's got a little bit more on that gray side. This one is she's definitely more of a neutral brown. And then the darker shade is more, she's warmer. She's got more of a warmth to her. But that's pretty though. I'm not mad at that. That's really pretty. So let's go into the darker shade in the bronze contour. So we're going to go into that. And I'm going to go right over this and add a little bit more here. I saw that Natasha on her, you guys can go over to her actual site. She has YouTube channel, and she gives you, like, if you don't have an Instagram, you can actually see all of her tutorials or whatever that she does on her models and on herself. You can watch them over there as well, because she posts them there as well on all of her social media platforms. You can go over there and watch her do it on herself or on some of the models, and what she does and some of the looks that she creates, because they're really short. They're usually like about a minute or 2 minutes or so, and she does a really good job. So this is palette so far. I can already tell you it's meant to be a one and done. It's probably each one of these shadows you can use alone with your finger. You put it on, put some mascara on, and go. It's not supposed to be meant as a full glam kind of a palette. I can already tell that it's very, you know, it's very simple. It's very easy, but look how pretty it is. It's actually really beautiful. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the pink. So we're going to take that really soft baby pink color that's in the blush, and I want to place a little bit of that on my lid. As you guys know, and if you don't know, I'm all about the pink. I'm all about the pink. I'm all about the coral. You guys are probably going to get so sick of me seeing me doing pink and coral eyeshadows this season. You're going to be sick of me doing it. But I love doing them as much as I do. I love doing a good pastel look too. I love doing pastels. So yeah, some new spring, new looks. We're going to use some palettes that we have, maybe. I don't know. We're going to see what I can do. I'm hoping I can get some stuff done this summer, or this spring. Because last spring, I wanted to and I didn't get the chance to. So I'm hoping that this spring I can. I'm trying to put out content as much as I can. So there you go. I'm trying my best. But that's really pretty. That's a very soft matte. It's like a matte powdery kind of a shade to it. It's a very matte powdery shade. That's pretty. I like that. And it looks really pretty on the eyelid. And it goes really nice with that brown too. I thought that it would maybe clash because the brown is kind of warm. But the pink is a little, she got a pinky coral undertone to it. The same thing with the other half of the blush. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. So now let's do the shimmer. So let's play with some of the shimmer. So I think, I'm trying to think, let's figure out what we want to do. So if I want to do, do I want to do Statement? I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to use Statement as a liner. So let's try, let's do Casual, because she's like a gray. It's a little unusual. So let's do the pink and let's do these two. Let's do these two and then this one in the inner corner. So let's do that one. So let me take a little bit of Casual, and she's like that gray kind of color, because I want a little bit of smoke out there. Just a little bit. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. It does pick up pretty good on your finger, but they're very natural. They're not like super, super crazy pigmented. It's more of a soft, natural pigment, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense, guys, but that's because you can build it, and it's buildable, but it's still just doing a very soft kind of a look. So I wouldn't expect like a ton of like payout, because I'm really digging in it, and it's going on really natural and really soft looking. So see, it's going really soft looking, but it's pretty though. I mean, it's not, it's just very, it's more of a natural kind of a natural kind of a gray. It's not anything super over the top. So here, let's try a little bit of the pink. Let's go with the pink and let's put her in the middle. So we're gonna put her a little bit over that gray and just tap her right over top of that gray a little bit. Just, oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Kind of mixes it in together just to blend them in together. They blend in really seamlessly. If you are new to makeup, this palette will be good for you if you have the right skin tone. Because I'm just saying, all my darker girlies and boys and girls out there, I don't know. I mean, the shadows would show up somewhat. I mean, they would just look more really super natural. I mean, they're definitely not pigmented, but it's definitely not. I just don't see with the tones and everything, because it's not, I'm gonna have to really build it up on my skin tone just to make it show up. But it's pretty, but I mean, I mean, it's pretty. I like that. It's really beautiful. I'm gonna wait because I haven't done concealer. We're gonna do the, I'll do the inner corner a little bit later. So now that we've got that done, now the next test is to see how it performs as a liner. So I'm gonna go into the really dark one, the Statement. Let's go into her, and I'm gonna wet her. So I'm gonna go in with a little, I've got my water bottle here. I'm actually just gonna use water, and I'm just gonna tap in a little water. And if you've never seen Natasha, her shadows do really well when you wet them, and they usually do a pretty good. And it's coming up pretty decent. It's coming up a pretty good dark shade. So I'm gonna take it and let's run it over the top of the lash here and see how it performs as a liner. Okay, she's nice. It's nice. It's like a really nice. It's a soft liner though. It's not, and even with me building it up, it's not super dark though. So let's take a little bit underneath and see how she does underneath. Now, Natasha's videos, she does do a liner. She does actually use a liner in her videos, like either her liquid or one of her pencils. So, I mean, if you definitely wanted more you would probably definitely have to do that. But I'm not mad at that. I mean, it's a soft, it's more of a very soft kind of line. But I like that because you guys know I love. Sorry, I made a mess there. I love liner. I love the ad liner. And I think that does look really pretty. I might have to take maybe a little liquid over it later, but I wanted you guys to see what it looks like as liner. It's very natural. Like, I mean, you can see it, but it's not like drama like a liner. So yeah, which is not really kind of meant to be, but like I said, if we're going to spend $62 on a palette, we're using lip liner, eyeliner, we're using it for the works. But I'm not mad at it though, so I really like it. So let me go on camera, let me do the other eye. Maybe possibly put on some liquid. I'm going to do some lashes because I've got another video to do after this look. And then we will go into the bronze contour and the blush and play with one of the shadows as highlight. And give it inner corner and see what it looks like. Just touch up my lips a little bit. I did go over it with my Lancome French chocolate. I did a little bit more here in my inner rim with it just to add a little bit more depth. As you can see, the liner did intensify the look. It made it look a little bit less natural. If you guys like more of a natural look, the other way would be better. But I like a little more drama on my eyes. I just really realized that when it comes to eyes, I just love a really beautiful, rich eye. And it's very hard for me to do so much of a natural look all the time. But I did do my Natasha Denona liquid liner, which I love. The Blade liquid liner is one of the best liquid liners. It stays on really well. It does a beautiful job, and you can see it give me a beautiful almond shaped eye. But you can see with a little bit of the lashes, it just looks really beautiful. It is a very pretty soft look, and I just edged it up with the liner. So I didn't do anything else to it. I just did the liner part to it. So before we go into any more, I want to take a little bit, I wanted to do this part with you guys. We're going to go into Dreamy. We're going to go into her, and we're just going to take a little bit of Dreamy. Let me grab Miss Piggy again. You guys, and we're going to take Dreamy right in here just to give us a little bit more, and a little bit here as well. Just to tap that out a little bit right there in the inner corner, just to give a little inner corner highlight, because I love me inner corner highlight. I like it not too sometimes, but it's really pretty. I'm gonna take just a tad bit too over the center part of that pink, and just add a little bit there in the center of the lid as well. Just a little bit, just to add a tad bit more shine, because she does have a little bit of shine. And while we're doing it, I'm gonna take a little bit up under here under my brow, just to show you guys a little bit of what she kind of looks like under the brow. So you can see it definitely gives a little bit more sparkle. Now she's definitely a more of an intense, almost like a highlight hybrid shadow. It's got a very wet look to it, but it's really pretty. We're gonna do a highlighter with it in a minute, but I've not done any blush or anything, so let's go in to do that. So I'm going to take, oh, sorry, I'm going to drop Miss Piggy. Poor thing, bless her heart. So I think I want to try it. We're going to try a little bit of the lighter color first. Let's try the lighter, and I'm going to go in with more of a dense brush to pick up more pigment, just to give a little bit more. I'm going to do more of the contour first. So I'm going to go in there more with it first and kind of see what we're kind of looking like in here. So let's go, let me kind of look down a little bit and see where it casts a shadow, and see how we're looking with that. I mean, it does kind of cast a little bit of a shadow. You can see it a little bit, like when you look up close to it, but when you look at, which is what contour is supposed to be, you're not supposed to really actually physically see it. So, I mean, it's definitely, and I'm in my light period right now, guys. I don't have, because, you know, I've been wearing sunscreen. I've been doing other things, you know, just really taking care of my skin lately. So it's like I get a little bit lighter in this period, but again, I will be really much darker soon, because when I just start doing more outside and everything, I just get darker. So I don't think that's going to show up later, but right now you can see it a little bit. You can kind of see it build up a little bit of that right now, but it's very light. So, and we did these two shades. I did these two mixed together. So now I'm going to try them all together. And let me go back. This is my BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy brush, and this is the 507. And I'm going to take all of them together, and we're going to, and remember the third shade is warmer. So she's more of a warmer shade. So I'm going to go in here with it and put them all together and start building it up a little bit, and see a little bit down on my nose. And let's try a little bit more here, up underneath the jawline a little bit. It's very smooth. So you can see it's very smooth. It's going on really smooth. It's definitely like, it's easy. Like I'm saying, it's like, because I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but it's, you know how sometimes some makeup parts you have to really blend. It's a lot of guesswork to it, trying to figure it out, whatever. There's no guesswork to this. It's very, very, very natural, very blendable. It's not a lot of work to it. So if you guys are looking for a palette like that, or something that is just like makeup really confuses you, this one it might be for you, definitely. It's because it's definitely giving more of that really natural look. But you can see it still gives a really beautiful look to the skin. I didn't powder too much yet because I was waiting to see what this looked like on its own. But it's still, even if I didn't, you know, because I normally don't powder a ton, but it looks really pretty. I mean, it does look really pretty. I think we'll powder before we do the blush. So let me go on this side and do this one. I actually powdered, and then I went back over it again a little bit more with the bronze sculpt part, just to add a little bit more. You really have to build it up a lot. It is buildable, but you got to build it and build it and build it in order to get what you want. But you can get there. It just takes some time to get there. So now that we've done that part, let me go back in with my, let's do a little bit more of a different brush. Let me take my BK Beauty. This is the 107 brush. And we're going to take her and stamp her into the blush part. Now, the blush is very pigmented, or it looks like, so I'm going to tap off a little bit, and then we're going to go in, but you know, we love some blush. So let's just see what kind of a pink we got here going on. So she's very fruit punchy. So she's got that more of that coral pink to it. So it's not a paint pink, it's more of a coral pink. But it definitely, again, it's buildable. And it does have a lot of pigment. It'd be very interesting to see if this blush lasts all day though, because it looks like it might fade out on me, especially with me being so dry. Sometimes I don't, blush does not stay on me long. So it'd be very interesting to see how that kind of works. But I'm not mad about it. It's a beautiful blush. It's a pretty color. It's a really pretty color. It leaves a very soft look on the skin. So again, I'm not mad at that at all, really. I'm really not. Hey guys, so what I did was I took a little bit of Dreamy. I thought that I was recording it and I wasn't, so I did it. I was doing it. So I did Dreamy as a highlight. So that's what you guys are seeing right there. So that's Dreamy. We did her as highlight. And I just finished touching up a little bit with my Future Solutions Shiseido powder, which I absolutely love. I've been using this one a lot lately, especially when I go to work and stuff. It's something about it makes my skin look really pretty. I don't know. I just really love this powder. I've been a little bit more addicted to it lately. I've been pulling it out and really using it. And I just kind of set my face with a little bit of my Dewy Set Spray by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So now that we kind of went over a little bit of a recap, we're all good. It looks all smooth and really pretty. We've got a really pretty glow going on, which is what I really love. So now let me give you my feedback on this palette. So I love the feeling of the palette and everything. It's just like Natasha's other formulas. Again, you can pop them in and out. If you want to use them, you can transfer other shadows in here if you want to use those. The pans, even the pans for the blush and stuff, they do come out as well. So if there's another blush pan or something in another palette that you want to use to travel with, you can do that. Overall, guys, I have to say, the bronzer, you have to really, really build up. And I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but it took a hot minute to really to build it up a little bit. It looked really pretty as a crease shadow, as a buildable shadow. It did really good as, slightly good with just the two shades as like a little bit of a contour. It did give a little bit. It wasn't until I actually mixed them all three together that I got a little bit more color. And it made it, the last one is more warmer, so it did make it more warmer instead of more contourish. So it did give more of that bronze look, but it took me a while to build it up. I had to build it up and build it up in order to get to what I've got to. Same thing with the blush. The blush, I had to build up a lot more. The blush seems to be, so far, it's doing okay with the flush and keeping the flush so far. Sometimes blush, my skin just soaks up blush because my skin is so dry. But I really hydrated today. I did a hydrating mask. I did a lot of things. So we're going to see how long the blush actually lasts. But I do like it. The pale color, you're not going to get much out of the pale color. I did use it on my lid, and it works great as a shadow to kind of give a little brightening there, or to use it because it's a little bit more it's more of a matte powder. But as far as that goes, I really wouldn't give like a lot of color. Even with a very fair person, there is not a lot of pigment to that at all. It's almost more highlighty than it is more like a blush color or more color. So, I mean, when you mix them together, you really can't tell the difference, which is what I did when I did the blush. You really can't tell much of a difference with that. But again, the color is more of a pinky coral. It's not like a pink. It's more of a coral pink. So it's got more of that tropical punchy kind of a look to it. So it's got more of like a peachy vibe to it in a way, peachy, pinky vibe. So it's not 100% pink and it's not 100% peach. So it's kind of that in between. These shadows, I like the shadows. They're very creamy. They go on really smooth. They're really good with your finger. But I've got to tell you, you've really got to go in and keep pushing it on and on and on. Where most of the time with Natasha Denona's formulas, when you just barely tap into it, you can get it. You immediately get the payoff that you see in the palette. And this one is a little different. You've got to build it up to get any payoff of it. It's not the payoff that I'm used to in her formulas. These formulas and these shadows are made to be more of a one and done, a very everyday kind of look. Even the darkest shade is very, when you blend it, when you pat it on and you pat it on the skin, it's not as dark as it looks, because you guys saw I used it wet as a liner and you saw how natural it looks. I had to go back to add the depth that I've got with liner to get the depth that I've got now. But off the bat, it's very natural. Everything was natural. Even the gray was very natural. You saw, again, it came on really natural. I had to keep packing it over and over again to get any of that depth on the outer corner. But it's really beautiful. The everyday color is the only one I didn't use. The one on the end is just the only one I didn't really use today. Everything else, though, I did use. I do like it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a really pretty formula. I think this palette is a really good one for somebody that's a starter, that doesn't know a lot about makeup, that wants a very, very natural look. Because again, what you see in the pan is not what comes out. It's a little, you got to build it up more in order to get a lot of heavy pigment. So therefore it'd be a little bit easier for somebody that is a beginner. If you're somebody that's a little bit more of a Natasha Denona owner, you have a lot of Natasha Denona palettes, you love her palettes, you buy a lot of them, you've tried a lot of them. I don't know. I mean, I would wait and play with this in store, guys, if you're really interested in it. Maybe if you're maybe eventually when the Sephora sale comes in April, this may be something you might pick up. If I think it's going to be on Sephora, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it is. It will be in Ulta as well. So you might want to just kind of play with it if they're going to put it in store first before you actually make an investment on it. It's definitely geared more towards of a light medium skin tone. Maybe if you're anywhere darker than me, I mean, and especially, and and I'm in a light phase in my skin. So in the summer, it will definitely be darker. So I don't think this is going to show up a whole lot in the summer on me. But if you're anything lighter than me, I don't know if this is going to show up on you. The blush would show up somewhat. It would give you like a little bit, but it's not, there's so many more pigmented blushes out there that would give you a lot more as far as blush goes. The bronzer's not going to give a dark skin anything. It barely gives me anything, so I could barely see you getting anything. If you're a darker skin tone, it's not going to give you much out of it either. The shadows would give you a very, very super, super natural wash of color on the lid. So if you are a darker skin tone and you don't like a lot on the lid, it would give you like a little bit of like a sparkle or something on the lid. It probably wouldn't give you a lot of color or pigment. But if you don't like that, then you might actually like it. But the bronze contour would be a waste for you, because there would be no need for you to use it, which is half of the palette, which therefore wouldn't really be a good investment for you. Or that's just my 2 cents, and as far as that goes. I mean, overall, guys, because I got my fingerprint all over. Overall, guys, the palette is pretty. I mean, it's a pretty palette. I think it's just, again, I just think it's more geared more for somebody more of everyday, very natural, on the go, on the weekend. As you saw, I used it as liner. I used it as lip liner. I didn't try it as brows. Because it would have been more of a warmer. I'm glad that I didn't, because this ended up being more of a warmer shade. So I don't know what it would do on my brows. I mean, maybe one day I'll have to try it as a brow powder to see what it does. But as a lip liner, even with this dark shade, it still didn't show up enough for me to not have to use a lip liner. So, and the same thing with an eyeshadow for an eyeliner. Same thing, it wasn't dark enough for me to use an eyeliner. So it kind of takes away a little bit of that, where I think like some of the Danessa Myricks, her groundwork palette has a more deeper shades in it for you to use as liner and to use as, you know, lip liner and that kind of sort of thing, so you can get more pigment built out of it. This is just made to be more of a softer, natural palette. Unfortunately, again, I just don't think that a darker skin tone or a really deeper tan skin tone would really enjoy this palette. I think it would be way too light on your skin. I just don't think you would get the result that you want. But, you know, you need to make your own opinion and see what you think. So if you see this in a store, I would play with it, you know, maybe swatch it a little bit, feel it before you actually make an investment in actually purchasing it. If you have already purchased a palette, please let us know down below what you think of it, what your thoughts are on it, how you've enjoyed it so far, what you've used it for. Is it met your expectations? Is it $62 worth? And I got mine for $42, so I got an extra $20 off of mine. You know, when I love everything Natasha Denona comes out with, everything she does, I don't think this palette's worth $62 though. I think maybe the $40 range, maybe. But I think she should have came out with 2 shades or 3 different palettes. So she should have came out with one for light skin toned, one for medium skin toned, and then another one for dark skin toned. I think that if you're going to do a palette like this, I think you need to have 3 different types. I think because not one, and I get it that the all skin type thing kind of works for some skin tones, but it doesn't. But to me, that's kind of a little ridiculous, because I just think it's better to kind of gear towards a certain skin tone, to a light palette, a medium palette, and then a dark one. So that way you have a variety, and the skin, everybody can enjoy it, and it will meet their skin tone needs and what they're looking for. I just unfortunately don't think this palette does that, even though it's kind of claimed to be more of a universal palette, kind of like some of the Charlotte Tilbury palettes. It's similar to that. They need to make more universal palettes when they do this kind of sort of thing. And sometimes I don't think companies think about that. So I think it would have been better if she would have launched this as a 3 palette thing, you know, again, light, medium, dark, instead of just a 1 universal shade. But I mean, but it is really pretty. And I mean, if you do fit in that shade range, then you will really enjoy this. I'm hoping that maybe she kind of learned a little bit of a lesson from this and kind of takes from Danessa Myricks and learns that, you know, to add some, at least if you're going to do one palette, add at least 1 or 2 more darker shades in it. So a darker skin can use it, or a little bit more of a brighter blush, and then one that's a little bit more subdued, or, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to do a one palette, but to me personally as a company, I think you should do 3. I mean, that's just me. I think you could give a customer a choice, so that way they can pick, and it makes it easier on the artist. It makes it easier on the customer. It makes it much easier on the person when they're choosing the palette. I think it just makes it much more simple, and it just takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Because I mean, I know a lot of my dark skin friends have really thought this palette was pretty, but some of them did purchase it and they were a little disappointed. And then there are some that, you know, that they just skipped it all together. So I don't know. You have to make your own decision down below. Especially let us know what you think of this palette. Are you agree with me? Do you feel like she should have came out with a light, medium, and a dark one? You know, if you bought the palette, what do you think of it so far? You know, please just let us know down below. And with that said, guys, we are finished with this video. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you like this video and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you turn on all the notifications so you can get any notifications in my community tab, as well as any videos that I do upload in the near future, because we would love to have you as part of our little Gabe Loves Makeup family here. And if you didn't like this video, then Denona on you. Denona you away. Denona, I'm kidding. If you lasted this long, I mean, you know, I really do appreciate it, and I really do appreciate you watching. So anyway, so remember, be safe, be strong, be proud, stand tall, love yourself. Remember to tell somebody that you love them today, because life is way too short. And also remember, be kind to someone, because kindness can go off along the way, especially these days, guys. We really need the kindness. I can't tell ya. So anyway, have a good rest of your day. Take care, and we will see you again in the next video. Bye.